is Way Up with Angela Yee, and we are definitely going way up today. Mano cannot wait to jump in here.
Yeah.
But we got Kenya here, and we got Tiger, and they are from Seeking Brother Husband. And I have watched, 6 episodes?
6 episodes, and it's it.
Yes,
But,
and they follow 4 different couples. You're the one that they always show.
Yeah, we're the premier couple.
Yeah, you guys are the premier couple.
Just bragging.
All right, so I mean, just to talk about the basis of the show, we've all seen Sister Wives, right? But Seeking Brother Husband, Kenya, you were in a relationship for 26 years, right? So that's your first husband.
28 years.
28 years now. Okay, and then Tiger, you joined in to be Kenya's, I guess,
Second husband.
Second husband.
She calls me hubby number 2.
Yes, and then you were seeking another one.
Well, it's not that I'm seeking. It's that I'm always going to be dating.
Okay.
As I said in the show, humans need fresh attention. Mm-hmm. Men know that, and they own that. Women are getting there. We're getting to the ownership of that human basic need. You understand? Always new relationships, fresh attention, fresh energy. That's just the nature of human beings.
So do you believe that humans were not made to be with one person for the rest of their life?
Oh, humans are not a monogamous species. Monogamous species, for instance, do not have sex with anybody else except for that one other. If that one other dies, so does their sex drive, like geese. 4% of mammals are monogamous. Unfortunately, humans are not a monogamous species in that 4%, no.
I absolutely agree with you on that. I just never seen nothing like that, right?
Okay.
So how did that happen? Like, you had a husband.
Yes.
Carl.
I've had a husband, for 28 years.
Right.
I got married when I was 21. We met at Howard University.
And they have children, 3 children?
We have 3 children.
3 children together.
Grown children now.
And who are, by the way, very supportive.
Oh,
Okay.
and brilliant.
So
My
in that
children.
marriage early on, you was doing the monogamy thing or trying to do it, or
yes.
because society, because I think monogamy is a rule,
nothing else.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be clear, Carl is the one that first was like, I like someone else.
Yes. So we were monogamous for the first 12 years, but at year 4, I found myself having attractions for other men. And he found himself having attractions for other women. And we would always talk about it. You know how you go to the mall and say, oh, look at that. But it became like we would really have these attractions, and we were surprised because we thought once you got married, that goes away.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. And that's the reality that people aren't prepared for. So we went through that. But by year 12, we had talked about it so much, and he had somebody at work that he was really feeling, but we never cheated on each other. We didn't have to because we could talk about our stuff. We were very authentic.
That's
It's
dope.
kind of like having an open relationship in a
Right.
way,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But the difference is that you guys live in the house together.
Yes.
Now, this is the one thing I did want to ask you, because you used to, obviously, when you and Carl were in a monogamous relationship, you were in the bedroom with him.
Yes.
But then Tiger came into the picture.
Yes.
And Carl moved out of the bedroom into another one, and you...
Well, it didn't quite go down like that.
Okay.
Now, the show can't show, 6 episodes cannot show our full life.
Right.
So Carl has had other women live in our house.
Oh.
We've had other partners of mine live in our house. This is not the first time somebody has lived in the house. Tiger, my husband have a woman in every area code.
Slow.
now.
Can you slow up for 1 second? Just slow up. Just please.
I mean,
just
I
slow up
love
for me.
telling this story.
Please. So throughout your journey, like, he's had other women live with y'all.
After year 12, when we had the discussion that maybe we should open,
Right.
he wanted to open for him.
Right.
Like, you know how the men
Right,
do.
yeah.
Right.
And I said,
Like, you're supposed to be just with him while
Right.
he's doing his thing.
That's what he
And
asked.
I think that's what we
asked.
normally see.
Yes, because
So you had a sister wife, so to speak, at one point.
he wanted to bring in a sister
Right.
wife. I said, that would be cool with me if I can have the same privilege. That's how that went down at year 12.
And that's what women always say when we watch Sister Wives. Well, can I do it too? And
Right.
most men will be like, no,
so
you
then
cannot.
you brought somebody in.
No, then my husband said no.
Oh, he said no at
He
first.
said,
See?
he didn't say no, he said hell no. And so I had to talk to him for 2 years about like why I wouldn't have the same privileges as him. Where does this mindset come from? Is it a Western mentality? Is it the mentality of, say, our enslavers, for instance? Where did this come from? That you deserve that privilege and I don't.
Wow.
And we really did an anthropological study, reading books like Sex at Dawn, writing our own books, studying this, until he realized, yes, the feminine originally deserved the same privileges and rights as the masculine in terms of sensual engagement and relationships.
Now, Tiger, how did you come into the picture?
Well, I came into the picture when I met Kenya, and when we first met, Kenya, of course, was married. And so when she said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my husband," I'm thinking, man, this lady's tiptoeing. Like, she's just out there sneaking around. Because I was dating women that, they had other partners. They had husbands. They had boyfriends. I wasn't necessarily cheating. I was coming off a divorce, but they had partners. And so when King was like, "I want you to meet my husband," that threw me for a loop. I was like, what?
This is instantly. When y'all met. As soon as y'all met,
yes.
I want you to meet my husband.
I want you to meet my husband. So Carl walks in, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait a second! Like, I didn't know he was home. I didn't know you were legit serious about this.
Am I about to get robbed?
Right? Bro, like, what's happening? Like, am I going to put my dukes up? Like, what's going on?"
Right.
And so he was really cordial. He came in, introduced himself, and everything. And I thought about that. I was like, man, there's got to be something to this, because I've never had an interaction with another man, especially being with his wife, and it turned out positive. And so,
how was that conversation, though?
So the conversation really wasn't much of an actual conversation. It was just the introduction. It was the energy. It was the vibes that he had when he walked in the room. He was not in any way aggressive towards me.
Right.
Like, it wasn't.
It's kind of low key like Jada and Will and August.
Well, except that it takes courage to say it out loud and to really live it, which is what we've been doing.
Because he said, August did say he met Will Smith and Will was aware.
Right.
That's if I believe that.
Yeah, so it's kind of
the same thing.
Except that everybody looks at it like there's something wrong with it.
Oh, I wonder why when 66% of those married today are in adulterous affairs today. So I don't understand who's looking at it wrong.
Because that was like the biggest scandal.
If they think that telling the truth about things is wrong, then yes, our relationship love style is wrong. But everybody's doing what we're doing. It's just we're choosing to tell the truth and be open and honest about our lifestyle and our love style.
It's probably easier to keep the secret than it is to live your authentic life.
Yeah.
But Tiger, so initially your reaction, because you're like, oh, this has never been a situation where it's friendly.
Right.
So what happened?
Right. So after that, I went home, I thought about it. I was like, they're living a different lifestyle than anybody I've ever known. So let me kind of understand this lifestyle, more of what it is, how it works, what it entails. And so, talking to Kenya, talking to Carl, I was like, you know what? I might be able to do this. But it wasn't immediate. It still took, what, 4 or 5
years.
Oh, it took 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
yes.
Now, were y'all actually, like, sleeping together during that time?
Yes, you think I meet a fine man like that?
Right away. Okay, gotcha. I like that. I like your honesty. I like where you at with that.
I'm an honest woman.
I love that
Most women
about
aren't telling the truth about their sex
No, I
drive
have
and
this
their sex
conversation
desire.
all the time, but just from a man's perspective, right?
Sure, yeah.
So the thing is, right? So now you're sleeping with her, but you in one roof? You under one roof?
No,
is he next door?
Not yet.
Oh no, we're not disrespectful.
No.
I respect my kings.
Okay.
I will never bring home something that's rowdy, loud, something in their face. It's just wrong.
Right.
And I wouldn't expect that they do that with me. We have enough money, we have enough energy, we have enough creativity where people do things that are respectful in our relationships. That's just the bottom line. Have you ever felt like disrespected? Because I even have other men beyond you.
It's funny you should say that, because that was a conversation that Kenya and I had at one time, because she's going to treat every partner differently.
Yes.
And I saw her treat Carl in a certain manner. I was like, you treat him better than you treat me.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, you respect him more. And
He's
so
the first husband.
He's the first husband, so he does get all those rights and privileges. She knows him better.
Yes.
Right. But you guys sleep in the bedroom together, right?
Yes.
So
that was to sort of catch up. I had been sleeping with my husband for 22 years.
So
have you ever slept with one person for 22 years? Either of y'all?
No.
Okay,
No.
so then we're not in the
Not
same league.
Not even close.
We're not in the same league.
22 months.
Maybe
22 months.
22 days.
So when people question me about these things, when I ask them questions like that, if they've never done this, if they've never been in a committed long-term relationship, 10 plus, 15, 20, 25 years, you don't know where you get to as a couple.
I will say this, that I look forward to being with the same person for 22 years.
Okay,
But-
we'll see when you get there.
Good for you.
I do.
Come talk to me after that
Yeah.
I'm
22
gonna tell you,
years.
and part of the reason is I feel like it's just easier for me. I'm kind of like, all I want to do is go to work and go home.
Oh, sure.
And so I think for different people, different things work.
Oh,
and so
absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with that. But I do look forward to like just having to deal with one person, because I do not, I think, have the bandwidth.
Right. For most people, it is just a fantasy that they think about, and it is a realistic, practical piece, like you're saying. And for other people, they have different cravings that they didn't know they would have. I never thought I would be in an open marriage.
Right.
Ever.
Our board app, before he left, he was like, do you think she's narcissistic? And I was like, I'm going to ask her for you, just because she feels like the need for this, because like you said, there's other men that you talk to. He was like, but I'm like, I think the guys, they all talk to other women too. So
of course.
it's just kind of an honest situation that everyone's agreeing on.
Yes, I don't believe in narcissism. First of all, I think that's an excuse people use. These people are unhealed. I call those people unhealed, or people who don't do their self-work. But narcissists seems like they have a mental disorder. No, it's just they're not doing their personal work. I don't think personally I'm a narcissistic person. First of all, I've written 3 books about this. My husband has written 3 more. We have educated and healed thousands of families.
You have
thousands
the Progressive
of
Love Academy. Let's
We
put
have-
that out there
yes.
right now.
So in terms of narcissism, I just don't know what that means, A.
Right.
And B, I'm a healer. I'm a healer of families and of this nation, because we're in trouble.
Now, Tiger, there was a period of time when it felt like you were a little jealous, right, on the show, just from me watching. And I know everything can't be packed, like you said, into 6 episodes where there's other couples also that we're watching. But she was wanting to get back with her ex,
Yes.
right, David, and talking about him moving back into the house. And she seemed really excited. And it felt like, because you had never met him before,
Right.
it felt like you were a little jealous. So tell me what you were thinking and what was happening
So
there.
they love to get these expressions that I give off. But no, I wasn't actually jealous of David. It was more of an uncertainty of who he was. Like, if you've got a new person coming in, you're like, what's this dude about? You know, how do you feel about him? Especially seeing Kenya get as giddy as she was
She was
when
hype.
he was at the door. Oh, she was ecstatic. So then I'm concerned. I'm like, now, wait a second. If you're getting that happy for this guy, you're pushing the issue, then I really have to understand who he is. Like, I've got to know where this desire for you to have him come back in here is truly coming from. Is it like, oh, I'm just looking for a brother husband, or are you looking for a brother husband, like you wanted somebody moving back into the house with you?
Right. So would you be okay with him moving back in the house?
Yeah, now that I know David, yeah, absolutely.
Y'all cool?
David's cool.
Have you ever met somebody and been like, he's not cool?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever met any of the partners
Because
that-
I only
that thought they
date
weren't
very
cool.
brilliant, powerful men. Only very brilliant, powerful men. First of all, have the
Yeah.
security to do this. Second of all, have the intelligence to do this. The intelligence to understand, like, you're a human, I'm a human. We both have the same privileges and rights. That takes intelligence, so that's all I'm with. All of my men get along swell.
Mano, your facial expression.
So you've brought different partners in, right? How many men are you currently dating?
Oh, that's uncountable. I have so many friends, partnerships all over the world, literally. And so do my men. This is about human connection. And we should all have a network of love around us. We should all have all the support we need. Anytime you need something for your situation, your business, your kids, your family, you should be able to call somebody. And that's what I call my network of love.
It's kind of like when people say, could I build the perfect person?
Sure.
Well, this person is
right.
great at this. This person is great at that.
Yeah, it's sort of like that, but I think men need that too.
Yeah.
I think we get in these relationships and the women say, you may not have female friends. Well, your female friend may have been doing certain things that
That's
your
right.
partner
That you
doesn't do.
don't do.
Right.
Exactly.
So why should you have to cut off your support network? My men don't have to do that.
What did you think watching some of the other couples?
Oh,
Or, well, not couples.
They need
The other
Kenya's
night.
help.
well, they're my client. They're the ideal
Oh,
client.
okay, there's-
Two of
okay.
the couples are literally my clients.
Which couples?
So I'm a producer on the show. I help cast the show.
Oh,
So
okay.
these
I didn't
are
even realize
because
that.
I've taken couples all over the world through this program for the past 20 years. This is my only company, my business, and it's a multi-million-dollar
I was going to say, it looks like you do well. Because you guys have a
Well,
very
we have
nice house.
celebrities, athletes, people who really do want an open marriage, but they want it private. So we can't tell you who those people are.
Got it.
But those people on this show, they need my support.
I feel like someone in here might be calling you. I don't know.
I mean, men bring their wives to me because their wives don't understand this and they need to hear it from a woman.
Right, that's a fact.
They don't want to hear from a man.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like that whole conversation of monogamy being a rule it not being a human instinct, right? A natural human instinct. I feel like I've gotten to those conversations with women, and the first thing they say, "Oh, it's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice." And I don't think that they really understand, just the idea for me of being with one person for the rest of your life is I don't think is as realistic as we think it is. And I think that's why we see so many marriages and all that fail in problems, in turmoil. People in marriages, they're not really happy. I'm not saying it can't happen. It does happen.
I think for me, because it's later in life for me at this point now, when I was younger, I had a lot of fun. But now I'm like, all right, I just want to be boring.
Right.
To be
That's
honest.
a perfect choice.
Yeah.
Whatever the choice is the choice, right?
Right. Well, to each his own, actually, really. Because if it works for you, then cool.
That's great.
Well, David, I want to, because David is in the room, and I know he's in the corner. He was like, I don't know if I want to be on. But David, what are your thoughts? Because you're the one that Kenya actually was really excited. You were her ex, and at a certain point, you said you didn't want to do this. You didn't understand it, and you left. And then this is what we saw on the show anyway. Okay. And then you did come back. So can you talk about what your role was?
So before Tiger was me, I basically was with King, 7 years?
Yep. 2009 to 2014.
With the other husband?
Yeah,
I got married to my other husband.
So basically, I met Carl the same way he met him. Like, he's like, "How I want you to meet my husband." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Then he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, I have this feeling like, is he serious? Because what it's about, like you about to hook up and etc. So, but he was really cool. So I didn't understand it, but I was like, you know what? They've probably been married for a very, very, very long time, and I was right. Mm-hmm. And also, most people, they ain't gonna admit it. Most people get tired of having sex with the same person, especially, let's say, after sometimes 6 months, a year, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, damn.
So I didn't look at it. I was intimidated by the situation because how many people who's cheating? Like, most people cheat. The difference between them and most people is they tell the truth about it. So most people won't be just tell the truth. Like, I got a chick over here, I got a chick over there, I got a chick over there. And most women, until they get around their girls, they want to be honest. Like, yeah, I got this dude here. We're just the same thing. We're just being honest about it. Literally
Why did you leave then?
At the time,
he met a woman. And she didn't want to be open. May I share that story?
Okay.
And also, I was so supportive of David because he was 10 years younger. So I felt really responsible for David. Like, if he met somebody who was really going to be more present with him, she had money, she had her life together, I was like, be with her, because she didn't want she didn't want him to kiss me, then she didn't want him to do this with me, then she didn't want us to have sex. I was like, just be with her, because she's not ready for polyamory. I'm married, I'm fine. And I knew in my head, he'll be back, and he's back.
That's what we always say. They always come back, don't they?
So
how
does it work? How does it work at home when he feeling like he want to be with you for the night, or he want to be with you for the night? How does that work?
Well, we don't have that sort of concern because he's with me for 2 weeks, then my other husband's with me for 2 weeks. It's not as though they're all in the house looking for a woman. They have other partnerships. They're not all just circulating around me, like orbiting around me.
And let me clarify, there's no trains going on.
No, I didn't ever think that.
Not for you. Right. People, like, because
people think that.
In this show.
People be like, the guys sleeping with each other, because that's the first thing that people always ask.
That's the first thing people see. They see 3 dudes and 1 girl.
Right. People think that
somehow the guys are interacting with each other and that we're not.
No, and I don't even date men who don't have a lot of women, because I want a man who knows how to manage women, who knows how to respect women, who knows women.
Do you bring your other women to the house?
Of course, all the time.
How does that work?
I love them. First of all, I've hooked him up with my friends. I love his women. I love David's women. I've met 3 of his women. I love Carl's women.
And it was like, hold on, it's that bad.
See, they couldn't really share all of this in 6 episodes. They're going to expand on our story. Right. Because it's much more to the story.
I think we have to, because it was hard to, sometimes I'll be watching the episodes and it wasn't enough. Yes. Like, I don't feel like we got to see, like you said, there's a lot going on that I had no idea was happening, on the show.
Yeah, it's difficult with the time constraints that TLC was working with to try to fit the entire story.
How did the show even come about? Because like you said, you have a lot of your clients on. 2 of the couples are your clients. Yes. But how did this even happen?
Well, myself and Big Fish Productions have been working on this for 2.5 years.
Mano.
So
I know them.
Yeah. So and just like you, they're brave. For you to be a Black woman journalist and have me on your show, you understand. Not a lot of Black women. They're watching this, right? But they're like,
no, I do
talk about it.
I DM'd Kenya. I was like, just because I know that, like, having watched this show, people will be like, and especially guys, like, oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, there's a lot of questions.
Sure.
And so then I went and I watched all 6 episodes. And I also did my research on you because you do have Progressive Love Academy.
Sure.
So this is something that you take very seriously. Like you said, you have these books that you've done.
Right.
You coach other people. So this is something that I take seriously too, because clearly there's people in this world that are doing this.
It's such an honor because I was wondering where the Black women journalists were, who was going to be brave enough to do this. But that's how TLC and the production company were to me, brave, because this has not been done, especially with a woman of African origin. Because usually we wait for the trend to come from another,
Right.
the dominant race or the dominant class in this culture. But we can set the trends. We are smart enough. We're creative enough. We have saved our families. Our family is together forever. We're divorce proof. I'm divorce proof with his ex-wife. I'm divorce proof with my husband's wife. We're divorce proof as a community.
And you talk about the statistics of how many people are divorced, how many people are cheating. Those numbers are very high.
Yes,
Every
baby
day.
mamas running drama, people dying, literally, and children watching this. Our children don't see this.
Right.
We have an entire communication system. First of all, when couples come to me, they say they want polyamory, but they're not ready. None of my couples are ready.
How do you know that they're not ready?
Because they don't have a communication system that works. They are using a language of war in their house. Their house is daily a war. If you're like that, you have to first heal that. If y'all had cheating in the past, you have to first heal that. You have to bring back the trust. You have a lot of healing to do before you can actually be authentic with each other.
That's interesting because there is a couple on the show and she cheated.
Yeah,
And that's how they ended up in that situation.
Right.
But I was wondering if that's the right way.
It's
No, and if you
it
see
feels
on the
like he didn't
show,
think he could be with her
It
if
definitely
they
doesn't
didn't work.
seem to work in their relationship because they definitely have some unhealed traumas there, and so they've got to work through that before they really start trying to introduce other partners.
And then the jealousy and the insecurity. Most people have not dealt with their jealousy issues, and they don't have a way to deal with it. In our relationship, if I'm jealous about something, we use up level. If I'm jealous, because I've been jealous. Oh my God,
Yeah.
he has some fine women.
What?
He has some fine
So you
women.
get jealous
Yeah.
with his other women. Now, are you jealous when he brings them around? Or are you jealous when he's around them and you like, where you been at?
But that's not the focus of the jealousy. The focus is I have a way to communicate it to him that doesn't attack him. So I'll come to him and use up level and ask, listen, I have a vent. Something's on my heart. My ego is up. My ego is tripping right now. Can I communicate this to you right now? He could say no. He doesn't have to listen to my vent. None of my
Kenya,
men.
in the mic.
None of my men have to listen to my vents. Y'all hear that? So I created a system where you have to get consent to vent. Then if he says yes, I can vent. But I will tell him, you're not doing anything wrong. This is just my ego speaking.
Okay.
So it's
You're not blaming him
I'm
for
not
your
blaming
ego.
him for how I'm jealous. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying he has to do something different. I'm saying, can you hold space for my little ego?
And it's interesting because even on the show, there's a lot of judgment, and you actually go shopping to get a new bed or
Yes.
new bedding, and you're telling the woman in the store, and she's like, I don't know what's happening here. Like,
That was so cute because people, they see this, and they think that it's something major. But for us, it's just normal,
Right.
everyday, my past 20 years. So
Yeah, and for us
Consent
watching,
event.
oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, watching the show for us, it was the first time that we actually saw the show as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So after watching that and seeing that lady, by the end of the conversation, she was interested. She
Yeah,
was
she was like, I mean, maybe.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, so
everyone's
that's-
interested.
Everybody's interested.
interested in this. They just don't know how to do it. And that's why we created the Academy.
Now, for Tiger and David, did you guys have some apprehension about actually doing this show? And then has there been any backlash? Because clearly people see you on the show, and it's people that you know that maybe didn't even know you were in this situation and had no idea what your relationship status was like, people that may have known you from the past, family members even, because some family members also don't like this arrangement.
Yeah. I don't know if David had any
I'll go first.
apprehension.
Most people are like, what is going on? I have to tell them, look, first of all, go on her page. The men have girlfriends too. So I know what you're thinking, I know what you see, but it's not how it is. It's not some freak fest. People taking turns, people smacking their ass while you're walking by. None of that's happening. We're very respectful. And again, I'm gonna say it one time, most people are doing that already. They're just hiding about it, just lying about it. So I didn't feel a certain way. Everyone who knows me personally, they was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I was just wondering. They thought we were all just tag teaming her.
Okay. What about your family?
Huh?
Oh, I love his mom.
I'm grown.
I've
so
met
it's
his
like,
mom.
what you gonna
So
say?
you pretty much want to do.
do
But he
I
get
do?
his 2 weeks. You 2 weeks with your husband.
Yes. And
2
then
weeks with him.
Yep. Then
When
I
he-
need a week by myself.
And so when he get his time.
Well, he's in New York
I
and
live
he
in
has
New York,
another
so-
partner right now. So
Yeah.
we just basically
Okay.
talk on the phone and fantasize about someday.
Do you,
we can
now
get
do you
together.
go on other dates outside of?
Oh, of course, yes. I will always be dating. I'll always be making more human connections.
Now, you guys had a commitment ceremony also, right? Because it's not legal here in the United States for you to have more than one actual, I guess, what would you say, legal husband?
Right.
But you guys had a commitment ceremony. How important was that for you, Tiger?
So actually, that was very important to me because what they didn't get to talk about in the show, Kenya had asked me to marry her a long time ago.
Okay.
And I was not with it. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And then I turned around and asked her to marry me. And she was like, okay. But she wasn't really feeling it because I had already rejected her. So it was really important to go in and get that security, that peace of mind that, like, we are going to be together forever no matter what.
Both got out of our egos. on
Yes.
that.
And your children were there. How important was that? And I want to know how you were able to basically, I mean, I guess they grew up kind of seeing a lot of this, but I just want to know what that piece of it was like for anybody who's watching this and considering it, but wondering, okay, well, what about the kids? Because you do want to protect your kids.
Well, we've made our children extraordinarily brilliant and ahead of their time by telling our children the truth about relationships. You know how you would be in your house growing up, your parents might have an argument. You don't even know what they're arguing about. You don't know what their
Money.
challenges are. You don't know how they solve. You've never seen your parents solve their challenges. You never see your parents get to the end of a challenge. They might have broke up before. Like, we didn't do that to our children. We utilized tools and skills. We told our children every step of the way what we were up to. They were allowed to ask questions, and now go to their Instagrams. My children are amazing.
Beautiful kids, by the way.
How old are
And
they?
they're normal
They're,
too.
they're
People think,
25, 22, and 19 now.
And mine's 15.
and for the people watching it who's trying to hate on the progressive love movement, the kids are normal.
What kind of love movement?
Progressive
love.
Yeah.
So the kids are normal. They're not freaky kids that just want to
They
have
seem highly
something.
intelligent.
Yeah, they're normal kids. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing like abnormal about them. But most people who see the program thinking, oh, they're gonna be messed up. They're gonna be doing drugs. They don't know how
Right.
be
Never even
monogamous.
done drugs.
They are literally just normal kids. There's no.
They're being watched by multiple people.
The program. I like
Yeah,
that.
They're being
Program.
watched by, and the good thing is, if they ask Carl for something, he says no. They can go right to Tiger,
And
he'll
they
probably-
love it.
Tiger
They got a lot of different choices.
Tiger's big money.
They
He's
got a lot of
gonna give it
choices.
up. Tiger gonna give it up.
That's crazy. Got it.
So, Maynard, how are you feeling now? Because I know beforehand you had, and like much of the people who are listening to this show, may have had some preconceived
Right.
notions or some judgments ahead
Right.
of this. I want to know what you're thinking
Right.
now.
So I was thinking, my whole thought was different. I was thinking that y'all was just constantly like living in the house together, like, y'all bumping into each other in the bathroom. Right? So, hey,
Stupid.
My hey, just in the bathroom trying to brush my teeth. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I can see how that would be
certain,
alarming.
certain nights is like you get Tuesdays, he get Fridays. Like that was my thought because I didn't actually see the show. And honestly, when I first heard about the show, I was like, oh, that's fake because I hadn't.
He did think that.
I hadn't even conceived the thought of that before. Like I've never heard of that.
Okay. How
Ever.
does it sound to you now?
Now I'm pro polyamorous. I'm pro. I'm pro that. I'm a advocate of that.
Okay. Polyamory or polygyny?
What's the difference?
Where the man can have many
Yeah, I'm
partners,
pro that.
or the man
That's-
polygyny,
Yeah, that's me.
not polyamory.
Yeah, but you just said
Okay, so you wouldn't want your partners to do this, but you would want to do
I'm not
it.
that evolved. I'm not that evolved.
Ooh,
at least,
you
at
heard
least he
that.
knows.
That's
And-
beautiful
That's
that
what
he
I was
can
gonna
own
say. So
that.
if you didn't
Right,
know
hold on.
about it, you're still good with it.
But that is so honest and so brave.
No, I'm honest of what it is. I just didn't know that there were women with multiple husbands that were all down together, and it's like a team effort, and it's just like but it's different than what I do because he got his situation, right? You got other. Well, you're a Brooklyn nigga too. You got other.
I got a woman.
You got a woman.
Yeah,
You got a woman.
okay.
Okay.
And
everybody.
Manny would rather be lied to. He'd rather not know if she's.
Well,
seeing-
depends.
we started this movement back in 2005, and we were literally the first people in the United States to go live with this type of stuff. We've been on Dr. Phil, Fox News. We've been on 11 television spots. We've had 2 series.
The Ricky Lake Show.
Yes,
The Michael Basin Show. Monique.
Everywhere. But it's been a challenge for, people to grasp it because it really does take skills. But we are the pioneers of this type of relationship in the States. And it's really, once you get the hang of it, like, they love it now. Yeah. But they had a hard time coming in.
Now, what is the most challenging part? We've been talking about all the benefits, but what have been the parts that have been the most challenging?
Jealousy.
Holding space for the emotion of jealousy and insecurity. And learning to hold space. Most men don't, not to say men are bad or anything. I love men. Y'all know I love men.
We know. We know, Kenya.
No, I love the masculine. Like, the masculine only wants to please us. That's all they want ever. It's for women to be happy. No, I know. Like, I've learned that.
You learn that.
I learned that with these
that
men.
understanding.
I get
got
it. That's all, like, nothing else. So what I'm saying is that they never learn how to hold space for feminine emotion. They haven't. And it's hard to for them to learn that, but it's easier with, of course, our tools. But I remember anytime I would get angry or upset, he would be out the door.
Right.
Like, he didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not sticking around for that.
Right, but what happened once you started learning how to hold space using up level?
It got easier. Then it wasn't that you were blaming me. It wasn't that,
They think
it was
I'm
my
blaming
fault
or guilting.
or anything like that. Then it was like, okay, let's break it down. What are you actually saying?
Yes.
And then I could hear what you're saying without trying to fix it. Because we're men. That's what we do. We fix it. You cry, oh, what's wrong? How can I fix it?
Right. They used to be angry that I was mad.
Right.
But now he says, thank you for sharing. How can I support you? And I say, ooh, can you give me some empathy? He knows how to give empathy. Right. Ooh, can you give me a hug? He knows no fixing, no running away, no ghosting, no, I don't argue with these men.
Right.
These men are perfection to me.
Now, Tiger, what about your family? What were their thoughts?
So most of my family's okay with it. My mom was always going to be that point of contention because my mom still has, the old beliefs. She's from down south Mississippi, down in Kosciuszko. That's the same town that Oprah was from. So, strong, deep grassroots. So she is not going to be okay with anything other than, like, marriage is one man, one woman. Y'all get married, you stay together for life. My parents been married, and they stayed together through thick and thin.
But on the DL, your mom loves me. When you broke up with me
yeah,
that time,
she
when
does.
she broke up with me
the
one
DL,
time, she tipped over my house and knocked on the door and said, "What's going on with you and Tiger? He does love you. Now you do." Your mom was right there, like,
was.
stay with my baby.
Yeah, because she saw potential. She saw all the relationships that I've been in, because I used to be serial monogamous. I get in one relationship, break up, get the next relationship, break
so you
up.
was like you was going with the rule.
Yeah.
Like most people.
Like everybody.
Like most
Like everybody.
men do,
I didn't think most people did though.
Yes.
I think I always feel like most people good at pretending or good at trying.
Yeah. Or acting like they're trying,
Right.
pretending they're trying.
Now, Kenya, what have been some of the things that people have been saying to you since this show came out? Because I can imagine, like we said, it's a difficult thing for people to grasp if they haven't watched it, or maybe they caught some of it and they're like, "Oh, what is this?"
Well, from catching comments for the past 20 years, it just, there's nothing anybody can say to me. I'm telling people, look around. Look at our relationships. Look at our communities. Look at YouTube. Look at Instagram. Look at these people fighting and bickering. Look at these children. 83% of African-American children live in single-family homes. Look at that. And then come back to me and tell me how me unifying men and women are fighting online every day. Me unifying that and healing that. Tell me how that's a problem with you.
Right. Well,
Talk
it takes
to
a
me.
village, and you have one. Okay.
I have a strong village with women and men.
You got a small town.
Yes.
Well, and what about with your kids? But when they decide to, I don't know, what they're going to do with their relationships? Do they have monogamous relationships, or are they like, okay, we're following what you've done?
Yes, my oldest son is engaged to be married. He's an IT major at University of Michigan. I'm so proud of him. And my middle daughter is actually a polyamory coach.
Okay.
Sanu,
Okay,
the
look at
Poly
her.
Fairy on Instagram.
The Poly Fairy.
Yes,
So she has a couple of guys.
Oh yeah, she's been non-monogamous since she was 16.
Wow.
And then my youngest son has not yet ventured out into the world of dating as yet. He's in college. He's an artist.
Okay.
So his head is sort of in the clouds. So we don't know what he's going to choose.
But they make their own decisions.
Absolutely. I don't tell him what to do.
This is now a cult. There's no sacrifice. There's nothing going on. These are normal people. These are normal people. We have normal jobs, normal
Well, we're
upbringings.
beyond normal. We are advanced. You know, we live in high rises. We have a high standard of life. He takes me out of the country every month.
No, they got a
buy
nice
me
house.
things.
They have a very
Okay.
beautiful home.
Okay.
We have businesses. We don't work jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We've built businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
David, why were you reluctant to be on camera?
You know, I already know how people think. So when I knew how the show's gonna come out with just 3 dudes and 1 girl in the same room, that's all you see on camera, I know how people think. So I was like, no, let me not do this. But it's not every day you get to see Angela Yee. It's not every day you see Mano.
He is so
Let
concerned.
me,
We
let me,
off of
first of all,
Brooklyn
let me
over
talk
here.
about
I know.
Mano. Mano don't know. I used to watch the dude without the kid, like growing up. Little Kim days, high hater. So that's another topic. I mean, it's just like a once, like TLC. I never thought I'll be on TV anytime soon. So I was like, you know what? Am I gonna let people's judgment stop me from being on TV, or am I gonna just do it, see what happens after that? I'm a producer. I'm a DJ. Actually, I know Nick. Me and Nick DJ before.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, Nick, I'm going to get
Navy.
the station.
Okay, you know Nick.
So I'm a DJ in New York City.
Oh, he did tell us you hit him. That's right, he did.
Yeah.
Right, he did say that.
Yeah, he did.
He did say that.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm a Harlem DJ. I do mostly Afro beats, Shrine, Savannah, and
Oh, he's
also I
brilliant.
produce
He's
music.
beautiful
So,
musician.
I was
So what's
like,
your status now when it comes to Kenya?
forever gonna be together's lives. There's no. She's all about communal living. What was that movie called? Happy.
Yes.
If you look at this movie
The
called
happiest
Happy,
cultures are in community,
Yes.
not in small little isolated groups.
Yes.
The happiest cultures are living community. He knows he's always my husband. He knows he's always my husband. We're divorce proof. I don't believe in breaking up with my men. I do not dump my men. It's nothing they could do
Is he
to
the-
make it
is-
so I don't want them.
Is Tiger the only one you've done the commitment ceremony with besides getting married to Carl?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the only one who's wanted that, but if others want it, let me know.
So if he wants to do like a commitment ceremony or somebody else,
Oh, that
you
would
don't
be
mind. You
that
don't
would
mind.
be my
So it's basically like
my
having
dream.
like husbands.
yes.
Angie, why you laugh?
I'm like, no.
I love these men. I will do what it takes. If
All
he
right.
wanted that, David, absolutely, yes.
And I kind of feel like on this show, and this is my last thing I want to ask you, I kind of feel like you and Carl had stopped having sex, or did that? Okay.
Carl and I, polyamory is not about sex.
Right.
Polyamory is about your multiple connections. So Carl and I, we go back and forth. From day one, we were not super sexual.
Right.
Carl and I have sex by writing books and talking about politics and going deep into spirituality. We always have.
Because it felt like you had a little bit of an issue with it, though.
I have an issue with him.
Well, no, like with the not having sex part, because you want to be satisfied in that.
I don't
in
have
that
an issue
space
not
too.
having sex with Carl. Carl
Okay.
has enough sexual partners. My issue is that, if I'm now having sex with Tiger and he's slowing down too. Because, at year 5, at year 10, at year 15, you don't have the same passion as you did on day 1. I don't know why people don't want to talk about
That's a
this,
fact.
but I talk about it, and it's real.
You need
Yeah.
to educate a lot more people though.
Yeah.
And so
There's
I'm not-
couples who don't have sex at all.
I
And they're
know.
like,
40%
Yeah.
of American
It's been
couples
2
are
years we
sexless
haven't had
today.
sex.
A lot of people don't
They
want to hear
cheat.
this.
That's what they do.
40% of American couples today are sexless. That's sex less than 4 times a year. Okay, I'm not playing that game. So I live it out loud. If Carl and I are not in that sexual phase anymore after 30 years,
Right.
so be it. I have me another man. He's rolling out of that phase after 10 years. Great. I need to find
Okay.
somewhere else.
Keep
Like,
going.
Refresh.
why would right, like, thank you. Why do I have to dump somebody?
Right.
And go through taking their money and alimony and child support and bullshit.
And sometimes you
Because
might come back after that break and be like, hey, we.
Yes, every time.
we back
That's
new.
what happens. And then I want them to go get some new, fresh energy as well, so that we can come back up, meet back up, and
Wow.
enjoy.
Well, now that we're in New York, does that mean you're with David while you're here?
I wish. David's girlfriend currently
She
won't
not
let
having
me.
that?
She's not
Okay.
having that. For
Okay.
the time being, me and David is on
So
hiatus.
she's not involved. You can't bring her.
I mean,
talked to her.
Like I said, we deal with regular relationships too. Like
Right.
I'm still connected forever,
Right.
no matter what. But I meet people. They're not used to that. They're not with the program.
They're not- right, they don't
I'm not saying,
understand.
"Oh yeah, I'm polyamorous. Get it with it.
Right.
Or you out." It's more like, "Okay, cool. We'll see how this works out. We break up, cool." If not, then we'll see how it goes. But
I'm
your current
encouraging-
girlfriend
I'm
right now is not
encouraging
on
you.
it.
I like her.
she's
Okay.
not on that. No.
Nah, she wants you to be happy.
I like her.
I think that's the main
I'm
thing, right?
encouraging y'all, and I'm here if y'all need support.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much. And how can people find you, Kenya? Because there might be a lot of people listening that are like, I want to learn more. I might need your help. I might need some coaching.
I can see that.
Absolutely.
I might send you a couple people over to talk to you. I need you to talk to her, and I need to talk to her.
Well, as long
Talk
as they're
to-
ready to back up, stop everything that's under the table, all the cheating, and back up and learn the tools needed for polyamory. That takes time. So I don't do less than 3 months with anyone that I work with. But anyone can find me at Progressive Love Academy.
That's how I found her.
Progressive Love Academy on Instagram, progressiveloveacademy.com. You'll find me, my men, my children, my entire network of love. You even find David on there.
And by the way, so you do have a more like a spinoff coming? What's happening?
Well, we can't talk about what's coming. Y'all have to keep staying
But potentially,
tuned.
potentially.
What we want is to share with you all more about us.
Okay.
Put it like that.
Okay, I will put it like that. Well, if you haven't seen it, you can watch Seeking Brother Husband. You can watch all of the episodes on demand. There's 6 of them. You can see the other couples. Like you said, you've worked with other couples that are on that show. I have to stop saying couples because it's not just couples, but other
Right, it's not
groups.
because it's the other communities.
Yeah.
Communities.
He got it.
Right?
All right.
Get it together.
Seeking Brother Husband. Where you up with Angela Yee?